There you go.
All right, all right. Hi, everybody. Welcome out. It's Tuesday night, our favorite night of the week here at the Next Level Mastermind. And
The Late Late Show with Chris and Amy.
there you go. And we have a treat for you guys tonight. I'm going to let Chris kind of set the stage for what we're doing tonight. But I just wanted to say welcome. If you've never been here before, we are the Next Level Mastermind, and we do these hangouts every Tuesday night. We like to provide as much value as we can cram into 2 hours.
Hi everybody.
Oh,
Welcome out. It's Tuesday night.
jeez. I'm a little technically challenged, which is a good thing because it'll show you guys that you don't have to be technical to make a lot of money on the internet. Right, Chris?
I'm still kind of blown away. I don't get it.
Yeah,
either.
I just realized something that I haven't told you yet that you're going to die when I tell you.
Oh, God.
Another kind of silly thing I did, like the phone sideways thing. Yeah.
One of those that I would look at you and go, how the heck do you make money online?
Yeah, exactly. So, but see, this is perfect. We are live, and this is a perfect example of how, you know, we come here to provide value for you guys, but we don't know, at least I don't know all the ins and outs of everything related to technical stuff. And well, you guys got to see that last week when we tried to sing happy birthday and put hats on and stuff, right, with our Google effects. So we try to figure it out as we go, but we you know, sometimes we have some technical challenges. So how are you doing tonight, Chris?
I'm good. I've been slaving away at my own self-imposed slides for everyone tonight, and just finished in the nick of time about 3 minutes before we were scheduled to start. And so, no, I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Like I said, I really feel like these Tuesday nights were a staple for people in the community and for us. And I'm so glad that we're doing it again. And although sometimes I look back, like the last week, I look back at last week's hangout, I'm like, how the heck can we top that? But what I've found is there's an interesting thing that happens is that everything that happens each week is absolutely meant to happen. And what I've noticed is there's many, many times where we've gotten off of these trainings and webcasts and hangouts. And, I've said to Amy and others on, best one ever. And I've said it many times. And when I said it, I felt like it really was. So what this really indicates to us and to me is that we keep getting better and better and moving forward and discovering cool stuff and optimizing and tweaking what it is that we do and understanding more on a better, deeper level of how it is that we're able to generate the types of success online that we do, as well as the people that we teach. And, that's one of the blessings about this business is that, a lot of people know, like we say, you're not in business, you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. And that's the unique thing that you're not going to find in the traditional world where, you start a business as a service, professional or some kind of a, service or product business, is that this is really centered around communities as well. And you're never alone unless you want to be, which doesn't make any sense to me. So glad to be here. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm seeing, oh, Jedi's here. Hi, Jedi. I just wanted to say hi. Hi, Natasha, Michael, Thea, Max, Kevin, Pete, Joey, Thea. The gang's all here. Norma Lisa. It's good to see everybody. So I agree. Like last week, we were so energized that we got off the hangout and we stayed on our own little private hangout for like 2 more hours. And it was already like, our hangout ends at 11 o'clock Mountain Time. I had to get on a plane the next day and I had to get my kids to school in the morning. And I was so tired. But we just had so much, a lot of times we have to stay on because we have to kind of what do you call it? Like process everything that just happened. Chris has a tendency, in case you're new to our hangouts, Chris does what I like to call, he channels God. Like we got on last week, he wasn't even sure exactly how he was going to deliver the message that we promised in the email. And I'm like, I'm not worried about it. And then if you guys were on last week, you know that it was life-changing for so many people, even people that aren't here on our team. I shared it on my blog. You know, just the comments that we got from people were crazy. So that's just kind of what happens when we get present here on our Tuesday night late show. So with that, oh, hi Jordan. Jordan's saying he appreciates us and he liked last week's webinar. Good. I'm glad that this is our intention is to create a paradigm shift in the entire industry. So I'm glad we're starting to see that it's happening. Slowly but surely, one person at a time, we will change this industry, right, Chris?
Well, that's what it's about. You know, it's funny. Quick story. I was at an event a few weeks back, and not necessarily the one a lot of you think, which is in Nashville. I was actually at a different event before that, which was a generic, marketing training event. And, there was someone who was leading the seminar that was teaching, that was talking about, some of the understandings of how he feels like he's changed the industry, and some of the things that we can't forget about, and the humanity that we have to bring back to the industry. And it was so cool to watch as this person was talking about, look, when you're emailing people and when you're email marketing, understand that, a lot of people get caught up in this internet marketing mindset where they're just looking at an email address as a lead. And you look at them as a number. You look at them as just a number that is a part of an equation to their conversion. And that's it. And, in traditional internet marketing where you're selling a damn diet pill, that's probably, whatever you want to call it. But when we're in an industry where we're dealing with real people, the people involved and gathered around a community that, are ignited by a common vision and a common message, you can't look at people like that. And what I saw is, he walked down into the stage, or walked down off from stage, and the two front rows, which was consisted of very high level VIP people that have had a lot of success in their business. And he said, could all of you stand up? And, there was like 25 in each row on each side. So 50 on one side, 50 on this, with 100 people. And he said, I want some of you to realize that some of you are complaining about only having 100 people on your email list, and want you to understand. And then he said, hey guys, how many of you were on an email list that got an email that changed the course of your life and set you on the path that you were on? And every single one of them raised their hand. And what I'm here to help all of you understand tonight, as well as many other things, is this concept of understanding that when someone enters their email address, I want you to think about yourself entering your email address to receive whatever it is that you're applying for, opting in for, or signing up for. And know that just like you are a real person that has hopes, aspirations, goals, and dreams, so is the person that's opted into your list that we teach you how to build. And so if you only have 100 people, think about that and realize you have 100 souls. You have 100 real hearts of people looking at you who gave enough to find out and want to know more about what you're offering. They saw you as valuable enough. So that should validate you, so stop doubting yourself. And two, any one of those people could turn into your next multi-million-dollar producer. I want you all to understand that as we start off here tonight, that we need to get some humanity back into this thing. Instead of people always thinking that it's so cerebral and it's so left brain and everything is so logical and analytical and strategic. And understand that there's this permeating magic that permeates this industry. And people who've come in from outside of the industry that had amazing pedigrees in marketing came into this industry and couldn't figure it out because they were doing all the things they thought they were supposed to do with sales and marketing, but yet they didn't know how to cast a vision, build a team, connect and relate with people, and understand where people feel and understand how to help them achieve their goals, dreams, hopes, realizations, aspirations, and all the things that they want for their life, which you are a conduit to. Even if you are not the actual catalyst for it, you're the one that's pointing them in the right direction and pointing the way to where we're all going. And you're a part of that. I want you all to understand that you're just as important as the next person. So know that moving forward. Know that. When I listened to him do that, I sat there in tears. Irina watched me. We were supposed to go into a group and share. And people were sharing. And I'm sitting there in my chair crying in tears, thinking, why can't we have more people like that? Why can't we have more people with that much wisdom in the industry, in this online marketing industry? And it was in that moment, and this is why I'm telling you all this story. Irina was sitting right there. She's sitting down over there on the floor right now. She was sitting right there, and I said, and other people in the group as my witness, and I said, you know what? I don't care what it takes, but if I'm going to be in this industry, I am going to, if it takes one person at a time, damn it, I'm changing this industry and making it better. One person at a time. And I remember the conviction I had in my heart when I said it. And if I am going to be here, that is what I'm going to do. And I know Amy feels the same way. That's why she's here. And I know a lot of you are here because of that as well. And so I applaud you for being here. And welcome. And that's how we're going to start off tonight. That's why we're here. So over to you, Amy.
I love that, what you just said about the emails, because it is so true. And it is, you know, again, like, so many people in our industry do just treat it like a huge numbers game, and there's no connection. And that's what we, you know, that's not the way that we do things here. And that's what we're trying to bring the connection back into this. Just because we're on the internet doesn't mean that we can't be related, that we can't be connected, and that we can't genuinely care about people. The people that, like Chris said, were trusting enough to give us their contact information. We're here to serve them. We're not here to spam them. We're not here to mislead them. We're here to serve them. We're here to transform their life. That's why they gave us their email address, because they're looking for the transformation that we said we could provide for them. And so if you can think about each person in that way, you know, we have the opportunity to make a huge difference for people. And when someone reaches out their hand and gives you their email address voluntarily so that you can now keep in touch with them, you know, your mission now is to serve them, to provide value for them, to transform their life, to give them something that can change their life. And I don't mean send them 50 messages a day telling them to join your business. That's not valuable. That's not what I'm talking about. That's what a lot of people do, and that's what we don't want to do here. So yeah, so I love that. You know exactly what event that must have been at that you're talking about.
Yeah, I actually never told you about that moment.
Yeah.
But, well, Irina was there.
There's so much. I just got back from an event myself, and I was in tears the whole time, because it was also about, you know, making a difference, what we're here to do, what my, you know, and helping me get more in touch with my message and my purpose in the world. And it's just awesome, as you, I'm sure, experienced as well, Chris, when you get around a bunch of people that are committed to being in touch with what they're here to do and who they're here to serve and what their message is. So that's what we're both up to, and what we're, you know, here to help our team step into, and so that we can, really make a difference on the planet. One of the things that they did at the event that I was at that I just bawled my eyes out. We did like a guided meditation. It was late at night. It was time for bed. We had a break, like a dinner break, and then she's like, I don't care if you come back in your robe and slippers. We have one more session and you got to be here. So at the end of it, there was a guided meditation, and then up on the screen they put the Beyonce video of her song I Was Here. And that, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video, but it was like, I cried through the whole thing. I had heard the song before, but I hadn't actually seen the video. And you see all of these people who are up to big things in the world, making their mark, making a difference. And she's singing that song, which is such a powerful song. And people were leaving, like, to go to bed. And I was just sitting in my chair, like, with tears just streaming down my face, because, it's like, it's just so important that we do what we're here to do while we're here. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people get to the end of their life and, realize, or maybe some of them don't even realize, that they didn't make the difference that they were capable of making while they were here. And I know I don't want to be one of those people. And I don't want you to be one of those people either. So that's my commitment.
Right on. All right. Interesting how these things shape up, don't they? So we're about 20 minutes in, and I want to be able to, I see that everyone's here. And what I want to do first is, for one, I want you all to post and comment here. First off, for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. And we are going to get into some actual training as to how all of this can work for you, and very, very soon, and just in a moment. And so if you're here, welcome. Feel free to tune in, enjoy, relax, watch the training, learn some, see how you can apply it. There's some of you that are in our company that are here that are not a part of our team. You're totally welcome to be here every Tuesday. They're public. And you're here, you're welcome to be here, and you're welcome to comment and interact as well, as long as you are staying positive. Obviously, any comments with any self-serving links or anything like that, we'll delete it right away.
Any links at all.
What's that?
Matter. I said any links at all.
Yeah, any links at all. Even if they're meant in good heart and faith and good standing, we just can't do it to distract people. It's part of our policies. And for those of you that want to add any type of positive value or comments, great. Also, you have any questions, post those in the comments below, and we'll get your questions answered for you along the way as we go. And so all are welcome to be here. And what this really is about tonight is helping someone, like we said in the email, really create a solution for themselves, given the proper tools and platform to do this with that has been proven to work. The system and the stuff we're going to talk about tonight is something that is responsible for, collectively over 148 million in sales on the internet. It has created over 15 people who have earned over $1 million. I know that's crazy to sound, in just 3 years. It has also created over and has over 100 people who have earned 6 figures inside of this company, as well as thousands and thousands and thousands of people that have earned any money at all online, have earned their first dollars and earned part-time income. Anything under 100,000, we look at that, and there's thousands and thousands of them. And so, just want to let you know that what we have here is a proven system, backed up by facts that work. And the cool part is we have something unique here within our team. And I want you all to chime in on one of two things, actually both things. One is why you love this team and this mastermind, and what do you feel is unique about it. And then also, for those of you who were here last weekend or saw the replay, let us know what your thoughts were and your feelings were of what you got out of that webcast hangout last week that we did. I want to give a personal shout out to Patricia Montoya for the heartfelt message that she put in our Facebook group after the hangout. And I feel that for those of you who are a part of the team in the Facebook group, if you didn't see that post by Patricia, I would encourage you to go back and look at that because it encapsulates what I feel is what our team is about, and she gets that. And I just want to I appreciate you, Pat, and I know that at certain times throughout our path, you have had, sometimes seen us and been, I don't know if this is it, if this is for me, and then you've come back and said, you know what, you guys are awesome, and everyone's been on their personal journey where there's people who have gone off and explored and attempted to find other things that have worked for them. And funny enough, it seems like all roads lead back here for everybody. And so I just wanted to acknowledge you, Patricia. Everyone calls her Pat, Pat Montoya, for being there and also speaking up and speaking how you feel about what you saw and what you witnessed last weekend. It truly was a blessing, and it felt great. I'm actually going to read it to you because I have it here. I actually did find it real quick. I really feel it's because, and hopefully, Pat, you don't feel embarrassed by me reading this because you did post this to a group of people. So I'm assuming that you're okay with this today, which is this was last Wednesday, right after the next day after our hangout, and it said, I just finished watching last night's NLM hangout, and all I can say is OMG. I have never been so moved by anything like this before in the business world. Not moved by enthusiasm or rah-rah team let's go, but moved to my very soul. We are all teachers and students in life. A newborn baby is a teacher of life as well as a student, and an elder is a student as well as a teacher. You, Chris and Amy, have taught me to remember so many, so many things that have gotten lost in the clutter of life. It is our responsibility to be keepers of the flame and to pass that light on to each generation. I've wondered for quite some time why I haven't quit all this online stuff yet, but for some reason, I just couldn't quit. Now I know why. I've heard in this business, you never know when you're going to experience a breakthrough, an event, etc. Well, for me, it was this hangout. I've been sitting on the sidelines because this computer stuff just wasn't my world. And I didn't like a lot of the things I saw and experienced. Just want to let you know that I've decided to get up off the sidelines, get up off the bench, and enter this new world. Because this world needs integrity, loyalty, and caring for each other. Thank you for letting me walk this path with you, and thank you for being the change that is needed. This is a team to stand proudly with each other and every member. Thank you. Pat, I honor you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. And I have it up on my blog. I hope that's okay. If it's not, let me know. But I was so moved by that too, because I was like, I feel like it really encapsulates why we're here. Why we're all here, why we show up here on Tuesday night. It's just such a big, to get one message like that ever. To me, it makes me feel like, okay, we're on the right path. We're living our purpose. Just that one message. So thank you for putting that out there.
And another quick announcement for all of you inside the mastermind. I just did get a low rendered quality version. I'm told I can get a higher quality one soon, but I got the footage of my talk in Nashville. And Irina and I sat down and watched it when we got it. Was that today? That was this morning. Yesterday? Wow, the days are flying. So we got it was yesterday. Okay, yeah. And we got it, and we sat and just stopped everything. We've been waiting for this footage. And it's funny that I'm watching myself, and there's just no way some people could take this as vain, I guess, but I'm watching myself, and I'm in tears, listening to my own stuff, and I'm like, wait, this is me. And for me, it was because I was remembering those moments of what I was telling and the stories I was telling on stage speaking. And I was remembering those moments as if it was real. And what I really felt like was important was that what I recognized is that how I was able to get those stories across, and other people felt them too. And so I felt like I succeeded at what I meant to do up there, as well as teach. And so for those of you who were there, I would love to see some of you chime in as well and say, if you were there at that talk, what it did for you. And if you were moved by it, what were your thoughts on it? Apparently, I got the highest scores. Well, one of the highest, but because it was VIP day, we had half the people normal, so they couldn't test the numbers. But by the ratios, apparently, I was the highest if you look at the percentage in terms of ratings from when they polled everyone. And so I really felt like I was able to speak my message there. And just want to see if any of you, what your thoughts were. And for those of you who haven't seen it, the good news is I'm going to be putting that in the back office of the Next Level Mastermind for everybody in the team to watch as a bonus. Didn't know for sure what I was going to do with that. It's so good. I want to use it in my product, but I don't know how to work that out yet. But what I am going to do.
Magnet, that's what I did with mine.
Sure. And I could possibly do that too. But for right now, until we figure out, I'm going to put that back there for everyone. And I feel it's important that everyone see that. I think
the inspiration tab.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. And I just want to do a quick shout out to Shalonda Gordon. I see her out here on the Hangout as well. We got a chance to briefly talk, Shalonda, in Nashville, and it was great to talk with you. I even remember that first video that that people used. I actually sent a solo ad originally out a long time ago when I was trying a couple of those with your story and your video about how you were able to pay your mortgage. Don't think I forgot about being able to use this system to pay your mortgage one month, and how far you've come is just a blessing and so cool to see, and honored to have you here tonight hanging out with us. And feel free to chime in at any time, and love your energy and appreciate you, Shalonda. So like she actually did already said, I feel the love of this team. I've already learned so much tonight. Sometimes you just need to hear that one thing that creates a shift in our lives. So honored to be here. Keep smiling. And Shalonda, that's awesome. Thanks so much. Oh, wow. And another one from Shalonda that just came in. It literally changed my life. I wasn't really sharing my struggle. I came back and decided to share my complete struggle. OMG, amazing results. Thank you. That's
Shalonda,
cool.
thanks for keep reminding me to smile, because that's the complaint everybody has, is that I don't smile on the Hangout.
She's normally watching Amy was always the one that was watching the comments and monitoring them. So she had this, she put on the hat of the security guard that was monitoring and making sure that no one's posting anything they shouldn't be posting. And so she's intently focused, and then has to, amazingly switch into a mode when we ask her questions to jump in and be able to come from a place of inspiration and experience, which is, I don't know how the heck you do that, because I'm not good at switching tracks like that in my mind. But yeah, so that's what I think.
It's like being nice and being from New Jersey. How do I do it?
That's a good point. Because I've seen the Jersey Girl. That's funny. So tonight is a little bit different in the sense that we were going to free flow here and be able to interact with the team and connect and relate. This is the time to hang out with our team. Any questions, any thoughts, talk about some of that stuff. Talk about some of the coming things with, Kalatu Premium, which is really cool. You'll hear some more about that. Some of you were probably on the Hangout tonight, the webcast, the playbook Hangout for Kalatu Premium. Cool stuff coming there. And also, we're doing more of a test run tonight where we're going to do something a little differently of what we haven't done, which is I quickly threw some slides together that are actually going to give someone who's even brand new, which is the reason I'm doing this is this may not necessarily turn into any type of, sales training, but what this is actually meant here to do is give a simplistic overview for someone who is looking at our team and our product and all those things for the first time, help them understand whether or not this is right for them. And so I've got a few set of slides we're going to jump into in a little bit after we do some of the training, and just kind of let you know, like, here's the simplicity of it. And the reason we're going to do it here live is there's some of you that are here for the first time. And then we want to set the stage for that. But also we want to record this, which we always do, but we want to be able to repurpose this and use this so that people can use this as a follow-up tool. They may use it as a front-end tool to send to people. And also, this is going to be able to teach all of you how to be able to speak about what it is that you're doing when people ask you about your business or what it is that you do. So it's going to be a little bit different, but we're going to save that towards the latter part as we finish up with some of the cool stuff we're talking about here now. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a preview of what you're going to get tonight. And then I'm going to, as I go through the outline, I'm actually going to teach a lot of you what it is that's important to understand about the things I'm talking about, so that you all get here how to take a lot of that and know how to go and permeate that same message. So cool or cool? Good. I'm just going to assume you all like that. And definitely put your comments below how you like that as well. But I want to, ooh, wow, Kevin Brackney at the event. Chris touched so many of us with telling his story, but he also put us into our story at the same time. Ah, yes, Kevin, and you actually know that there's a way I actually teach that stuff as well on how to do that. So appreciate you. Thank you for that. And, you know, Kevin was another one that sent me a private message. I won't speak of what he told me just because he privately messaged me, but Kevin, I would just want to acknowledge you for that message. And I know where it was coming from. And I want to say that it takes a very big man to be able to come from where you may have come from and be able to have the, unique perspective that you do. And I really do appreciate you reaching out like that. And it shows a lot of grace and humility and perspective and wisdom coming from you that, I know you have, and you've been so humble throughout this whole process being with us. And I just really appreciate that about you as well. And just kind of to remind you a little bit here, a little bit of a nudge that it's okay, speak a truth. It's okay. We all support each other in the truth here. So nothing wrong with that at all. Not that you aren't, but just a friendly reminder that there's another level for you. At least I see from where I'm sitting, and that's a very narrow scope in a sense as well, but also from a unique one. So for what that is, Kevin Brackney, love you, brother. Appreciate the comments you gave me as well. I don't mean to have everyone be wondering what he said. Just know that it was all positive and praise for last week, and that he very much appreciated it. So yeah. And personal breakthrough for me, I feel like Chris and Amy understand that we all come from different places. We can all have peace and stand on common ground and love people where they are at. Oh, there you go. So Kevin, you already pretty much said it. Awesome. I applaud that. And then I'm seeing this. Amy, did you read that from Jordan?
Yeah.
Can
awesome.
you read that?
You want me to read it?
Yeah, could you?
Out loud, yep. From Jordan Ashton, he said, here's my take from an orphan outsider's perspective. I watched last week's webinar today. Wow. You and Amy did an amazing job, provided so much genuine value. I love the way you both broke down the differences between internet marketing and network marketing. You made it perfectly clear why, as marketers, we must do the best thing as opposed to the latter, right? Or
Yep.
later. Okay. And just like the week before, I love how genuine you are, Chris and Amy, and how much you truly care. It's something that I absolutely resonate with. It's nice to have a safe place to hang out each week where I don't have to feel like I'm intruding. Thank you. And when I read this before, while you were talking, Chris, I just want to say, don't ever feel like you're intruding here. This is, this is a family, this is home, and it's okay if you're not part of our direct team. We love you, and you never have to feel like you're intruding here. That's not who we are. Thank you so much for saying that, Jordan. Appreciate it.
And just to piggyback on that, Jordan, I do appreciate it. I really, really do, man. I just like, wow, I just got the hit that, Amy would read that more eloquently than me. But like Amy says, welcome. And, let me draw a few distinctions for some of you tonight who are here. And, like I said, you may be from other teams or other lines inside of our company. And what I want to do here is help draw a quick distinction. Our team, the Next Level Mastermind, which we really consider a mastermind, is a little unique and different. And although we've had many, many people asked to join our team who are already inside in a different line in our company, one of the things we have to do is we made a decision a long, long time ago out of respect for other leaders and out of our own integrity for offering our bonuses and the things that we offer specifically for our team members. We had to keep it to line of sponsorship. Because if we were to come here and say, look, here's all the cool extra things you get for joining with us, but you're joined with someone else, but we let someone in and get that anyway, then we feel like we are out of integrity with doing that. So what we did is we came up with a compromise, which we feel like was not really a compromise. I do not like that word, but really something that is the best of both worlds, which is there is some cool, awesome stuff inside the Next Level Mastermind for people who are members of that they get to take advantage of that are, unique only to them. And but the good news is that this process and this purpose is twofold, that these hangouts we decided to make public. We decided to invite anyone from the outside to be here, and people who are a part of other lines are welcome to be here and interact with us here, as this is like our second ring, our outer ring of how we reach out and connect and relate, and you're all welcome to be here. So if you're here, then you've chosen to be here, and we welcome you, and you are a part of the family. And don't worry about the stuff that we have on the inner circle stuff. Yes, that's specific and it's cool stuff for our team, but I'll be right here up front with all of you to say that it's not like it's the only place on earth that you'll find it. And in fact, it's a lot of stuff that people beginning need and some cool strategy, but we talk about some of that here too. So don't feel like you can't be here or intruding ever, because we love the fact that you're here. And the real vision and purpose of this hangout is to create more positivity and more perspective for the industry here as a whole. And so whoever shares that common vision, you're already family. You're already here. So welcome. And thank you, Jordan, for that. So yeah. Just checking out if I haven't, shout out to Max, Jersey Sarcasm, of course. That's funny. Just checking if I haven't shouted out to anyone. Thea, good to see you out here. And Pete, let's see. All right, we see you. Pete Pritchard, good to see you, brother. And Joey Pappin, good to see you. And Norma Lisa, good to see you out. And Jacqueline, good to see you back, Jacqueline. All roads lead back.
Yay, Jacqueline!
So, yeah. So, Amy, any other quick thoughts before we start talking about some of the cool stuff? Maybe jump. Did you get to see any of the webcast earlier today with the premium?
Yeah, I was multitasking, of course, because I have my kids and stuff. But yes.
Okay.
Eating chocolate. Sorry.
Gotcha. Okay. So as some of you know, Kalatu Premium is coming soon, which is a cool new thing. And, for a lot of you who weren't on that hangout, just know that, there's some few hard dates that you'll be able to log into your back office and be able to see when that goes live, and some of the dates of the launch sequence that prepare people for this, and that you can be a part of that by logging into your back office and looking at the promotions, I believe, or calendar is what it said. And it shows the calendar there of everything. So
it was weird because there was a button on the Hangout page where you clicked on it and it took you to all the resources for the rollout and the launch. And then I got off of the Hangout page and I tried to find it in my back office and I can't find it. How do you get to it?
Yeah, well, I found it. But I don't know if it's the exact same page, but it showed the calendar.
Yeah, there was a page that had banners on it and everything. For
Not that, couldn't find that one.
Yeah.
In the back office. We will find it though, and we'll send that out as well and let people know and keep people updated about that in the Facebook group. And for those of you who may not be in that Facebook group, just make sure that you check in with your upline and with back in the back office. If you can't find it, obviously send in a ticket to support. That's what we have them there for. So yeah, interesting perspective about last weekend. One last recap here before we move on. And I talked about something last weekend that I have never heard anyone talk about in our space. And since then, I talked about that publicly in a video, as well as on a private training for somebody else in another team, where there was a lot of people on, and I got some amazing feedback for people saying that they'd never been exposed to the industry like that, with that type of a perspective. And what I want to encourage all of you to think about is, there's a lot of theories and a lot of methodologies on how to build this business online, how to create an income for yourself. And yes, we're getting into the training here in just a sec, but what I want you to know is think about how it can be sustainable. That's something that I've always held dear is, I got into this industry when I was 18 years old, and I was sold a dream of passive residual income. I was sold a dream of being able to create enough of that to have the type of lifestyle that I didn't even know was possible for someone like me. And I saw average, everyday, ordinary people making a decision to put in that work, and they were creating that type of lifestyle. And that lit a fire in me that at sometimes, because I had my own personal issues, I almost let go out. But not completely. Not completely. And because of that, we're here today. And, just like Pat said, we're keepers of the flame. And I really believe the future of our society is going to shift to being influenced more so by the entrepreneur than anything else. And if you look at it in a certain way, it already does. However, it is the most empowering place to be as an entrepreneur, because the entrepreneur is the one that knows, learns, and understands that they need to take control of their own personal destiny rather than allowing outside circumstances to predict their destiny. And for those who will say that certain circumstances in their life have caused them to not have the same chances as everyone else, it's a hard one to agree with, simply because I understand that, what you can ask yourself right now, if you said, well, based on results, I am at in my life exactly where I deserve to be. If you, as a mature adult, look at and take responsibility for where you're at. And that's tough sometimes, because I have some people that come to me and say, look, I'm doing everything I can. I've made this decision. I'm working, at this every day, and I still don't have I'm not even close to the result that I'm looking for. And what I would say to that is, well, in this process, there's a couple components to this. And one is your why. And it's got to be strong enough to where you really are doing that every day. Because what I've actually have found is that if you're honest with yourself, you don't have to be honest with me, it's okay, but be honest with yourself, and I'll tell you what's needed to succeed, which is that which is only done daily yields results. So if there's something that you're consistently focusing on and keeping a picture in your mind of what your day looks like every single day and what that daily thing is that you're doing every day. The thing that you do daily is what's going to gather energy and create momentum for you and ultimately build the foundation and the empire that you're looking for, however that looks for you. And so, some people have been around for a while and say, look, I'm not where I want to be yet. And I've sat down and been like, okay, so are you doing blog posts? Are you sending emails? Are you doing this and that every day? And it's like, oh, okay. The non-glitzy, glamorous side of this business, which normally shows up in the form of a name we call work, is something you do consistently. That's what an entrepreneur does. Now, I want to compare and contrast real quick the difference between what I'm talking about and the message and how you feel right now compared to some of the stuff you see outside in the online space, where you see people with these hypey promises saying, this system promises this much money per day, click here to join now, or make money with my $500 a day formula. I like to say that a lot, which is like crazy, right? And people saying, hey, you're missing the big thing, the big secret about how to build your business. And the obvious reason is because you don't know this, and so you've got to buy my thing, which is going to help you do this. And there's constantly people trying to get your money all over the place and doing whatever they can to do it, including a lot of people not above flat out lying and taking your money. And the sad part is a lot of people group our industry of online marketing and internet marketing and network marketing and all the things we do online, which is different from traditional network marketing, where you're not on the phone, or you can be on the phone, but home meetings or one-on-ones and stuff like that, which that's okay too, but that's not the type of business model that that's not how that looks in the marketing phase and the building phases of this business. We meet at an event like every 3 months. A little different than weekly meetings and leaving your family and having to go out and hear stuff from companies like, if your tires ain't bald, you ain't driving around showing enough plans. Well, we have the internet now, and just realize that there's a different way to do this that we've proven that connects people, just like on these hangouts that we do right now, that can actually hold people together in a way that they never thought possible years ago when the internet first came out. And my upline was even telling me, do not go to the internet. It's not sustainable. People join and they leave right away. You can't build a sustainable business that way. It doesn't work, and short term and all that. And at the time it kind of was, because we still had some technological limitations. But now we don't have those. We're here on video, live stream, hangouts, right in your home. I mean, I could be doing this with no pants on right now, and you wouldn't even see it. No, seriously, I'm wearing jeans. Seriously, no, I'm not. So anyways, what I'm just or you could be in your pajamas working, right? I mean, that's really what I'm saying here is, I'm probably getting looks. Okay, cool. She's not mad at me.
Remember, you were making fun of teleseminars the other night and saying they're a thing of the past. The reason people love them is because the women, anyway, with the event I was at, said because they don't have to do their hair or anything.
Is that why?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's very much a place for teleseminars and conference calls, because it helps people still communicate, and oftentimes it allows people to be able to be doing other things that they need to, like whatever it is, homework, stuff that they have to do around the house, whatever it is. They don't have to be fully engaged watching. They can be listening and handling stuff. And so I totally get that part of it as well. And some people don't want to be live on that type of thing. Well, teleseminars, they're normally hosted by a couple people, but most people here tonight are not on the hangout. They're actually watching the video. So but I just think that, and I've seen that everything is moving towards video, and the technology is allowing and making it more effective through video. This is my personal take. And I think that it's more effective and impactful when you can see me talking and hear my tone of voice and hear what I'm saying as well. And since we don't have any technological barriers for that, I really feel that that's better. I mean, honestly, think about, would you rather be listening to just this in audio every week versus seeing how animated we get at times and in moments when I'm ready to come through that camera and like wring your neck, teaching you something, right? Or drawing something out on a whiteboard, which I would not be able to eloquate so well if we had teleseminars. But there is definitely a place and a time for them, and I know they work and they're effective. However, I just love the technology we have here for this, which seems like it's like I know how to do that works, you know? So that makes sense?
We used to have our all-in calls, and they were calls, and I would walk around my neighborhood every night while we did them, and people could hear my flip-flops. Flip-flop, flip-flop, as I'd mute myself, but when I had to talk, I was walking and flip-flopping.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I get it. So let's see if we've got anyone here. Ah, interesting, Shalonda. I love it. I was approached by a traditional network marketer last week, and Chris, when you said, we have the internet now, that was literally my line. OMG, been there, stayed there for 10 years, and there's a much better way. You are speaking truth, Chris. Keep smiling. I love how she ends everything with keep smiling.
I know. I told her. We need her here every week to remind me.
That's funny.
Well, Chris, I think we should roll into, you know.
Yes, I'm just loving these comments.
Knowing us, it's gonna take us right to the end at this point.
I know. I'm loving these comments right now. I'm reading all of them. That's cool. Okay, so right on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna illustrate to a lot of you how simple this can actually be. And this is going to help a lot of you understand how to be able to use a lot of these elements when you're talking or blogging or marketing or sending emails or whatever the case may be in what you're doing. And for those of you who are new, who may be seeing this for the first time and you're hearing all this stuff, thank you for hanging out for an hour, because you're probably like, will you get to the freaking point already? And so thank you for being here, and we're going to show you what it is that we're doing here that makes complete sense once you see it. So what I'll do is share the screen, and just want to check, Amy, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So the Next Level Mastermind presents how to cash in on your passion. And what this is illustrating the power of a supportive community and a proven system to cash in on your passions, aspirations, goals, and dreams. And hosted by yours truly and Amy Starr Allen. And so by the end of this, like I'm playing with words here, multicast, I like to call it that, because we're flipping back and forth between camera angles and slides, is you will know how to get started cashing on your passion with no experience, using simple and effective tools and platforms that are proven to work online without having any tech skills or advanced marketing and sales knowledge to start. That makes sense. So this is a brand new person who can come in here and start plugging into this stuff. And you can create a part-time to a full-time income stream on the internet in addition to whatever you do now, so that you can finally have the freedom to make your own choices in life on how you spend your time and money. And you'll be surprised at how much of this you already have, the skills and the talents that you'll be able to use with this stuff that you never thought was possible. And we'll talk about some of that. So also, you'll also know how to easily spot traps, scams, and schemes disguised as money-making opportunities. We've talked a little bit about that already, and we may talk a little bit more about it later, but understanding and discerning the difference between promises and hype, which, you know, you've got to be careful with understanding. Once you understand what people can legally and technically say, and when they don't know any better in the things they say, it's very easy to see the differences. We'll talk more about that. And you'll also be able to tell who will be actually able to support you versus those who are just going to leave you out in the cold. And obviously by now, a lot of you can see what we've talked about here with the comments and with the quotes and the testimonials and the Facebook posts, that we're not those types of people yet. Wow, my cat even likes the slides laid down right next to my laptop here on the desk. Thought that was funny. But what this ultimately does is you can avoid the pitfalls and traps of the online world, which there are a lot, and we want to help you navigate through that. So all of this so that you can finally create passive residual income in an automated way that you can leverage for a better life for yourself and your family. And finally have the freedom to choose how you live your life with your purpose and passion instead of someone else's. And we're here to support you in that. And really feel good about what you do and are proud of a legacy that you can pass on to the next generation. A lot of people sometimes, have these assumptions about our business, and they're really afraid that if they get involved in something like this, they want to make sure that it's on the up and up and it's totally legit, and it's something that they want to be known for and have their kids be proud of. And this seriously is. And honestly, in this business, what I've seen with the children that come to the events, by the people who have created full-time incomes, they have such a unique lifestyle. They have the time and ability to be able to spend with their children and, be able to have that quality time that really makes a difference in shaping that child's life. And not just necessarily children, but passing on to the next generation in terms of this is something that can be a legacy for you in a lot of different ways, in more ways than you probably could count right now. And all of this while being supported by a community that believes in you of like-minded entrepreneurs. So first, why us and why now? And I just want to go real quick into, my story, which, as you can see, a former completely broke real estate agent who lost everything in the collapse of '07, who I was down to only $200, in my pocket, turned my life around, created a multiple six-figure income on the internet inside of 17 months. And so let me clarify here is that, it took me 8 months to make my first $15 online. And I remember some of these nights, I remember some of these nights, and I know you guys can see me now. I remember some of these nights where I was literally scrounging for change inside the couch just to be able to find something, to hold me over and eat that night, because I had a little bit of money coming in, but not much and barely enough to do anything. And keep in mind that, I had moved to a new place, thought I had, over $10,000 in real estate commissions coming to me. And literally in one day, both deals that I had put together when I was still in real estate back in Alaska were getting ready to close. And I was on the phone with my broker when I found out literally the same day, both of those deals went south. And so I went from thinking that I had $10,000 in, cushion money to help me start my online business, turn into $200 of the money I already had in my pocket and nothing coming in. And what I learned from that is a very important lesson, which was I did not understand how to do everything yet. And we sure as heck did not have this system we have now that's proven to work, but I had to start moving forward and figuring things out and keep doing things, although I did not completely understand how it all worked yet, or why it worked, or when it would work, or what I was doing all the time. And I had to work through that. I didn't have time to go sit and watch a bunch of training. I had to go and get in action mode and learn by doing, which you'll find is that's the last piece of what a lot of people won't do. They'll stay in perpetual learning mode. And ultimately what happened for me is I was so afraid about how to, I started to learn these strategies, which I thought was the real secret, the real key to this stuff was learning how to like rank stuff on the search engines and all this other stuff. But essentially it turned out that I had a lot of traffic to my blog posts, and I had things happening like that, but I wasn't having anyone choosing to join me. I wasn't having anyone, buying. I wasn't making any sales in my business. And I couldn't understand why. I didn't understand it, but I did know that I couldn't really understand what my message was. And I was always kind of like searching around and looking at what other people said, attempting to figure out what I should say, because thinking there was some kind of like magical close or exact specific strategy that I didn't know about as to why it didn't seem to work for me. And, I finally had this amazing realization, to make a long story short, in San Diego. And, I had a series of events happen where I sat on the curb and was just like, okay. And I set my intention. I had enough. And I wanted to know, why is it that I knew I was learning a lot of the stuff that the same people who were making a lot of money had, but why was it that I couldn't make it work for myself? And I wanted to know, and I set the intention. I said out loud to myself, I need to know what it is that's holding me back. Why is it that it's not working? I must be not getting something. I want to know what it is. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid to face it, but I need to know what it is so I can handle it. And to make a long story short, there were a few people that, came around throughout the weekend that said certain things to me that made me go, interesting. Like I was playing small, and, you got so much potential. Why are you wasting it? And that Sunday night, I sat there and in the driveway of a friend who was at the event all weekend with me. And I was essentially talking about the weekend and my experiences and kind of questioning what was going on with it. And those weird things when people said stuff to me. And, I had noticed that this person, she was a friend of mine. She would actually, like leave whenever I was talking to somebody in my circle of people. And at the event, I'd talk with someone and she'd walk away. And it was like automatic every time. And I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. And so I finally turned to her and I said, why is it that you were walking away every single time I was talking to someone? And for me, I was thinking that, she was new and the stuff I was talking about, she could learn from. And so I'm thinking to myself, kind of egoically, like, hey, you could learn from this, didn't you want to know how to do this? She was checking out the business. And she said, it made me sick to my stomach to listen to you talk. And I was like, what, why? I got to ask, what do you mean? Why? And she said, Chris, it's because I know you. And when I listened to you talk to those people, you weren't really being yourself. And it's like you were telling them what they wanted to hear, but you weren't telling them what they needed to hear. And you weren't being real and being yourself and being authentic and just speaking from your heart. And I know you, and I know you have the ability to do that, but why are you afraid to do that with other people, especially in business? And when she said that, it's like it finally was the last domino to fall, like something snapped. And I had this experience, this realization, and all I can think about it was like my subconscious mind finally presenting to me like, okay, here you go. But it was like a near-death experience. Some of you have heard about people having near-death experiences, and your whole life flashes before your eyes, kind of like Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Story. And they kind of show him parts of his life that he has a different perspective of now and learns something different looking back at it. And it's like my subconscious mind like put this movie screen in front of me, and I started to see all these moments in my life where I acted like that, and it caused me like pain and suffering and frustration and struggle, and why things didn't work out in my life, and why relationships didn't work and friendships didn't work, and business relationships and partnerships didn't work. And it's like I saw it all in a moment, and I finally got it. And I finally realized that this is crazy. Why have I been sabotaging myself? What am I afraid of? This is nuts. And all I could really see was that because as a child, I was kind of weird, and I wasn't always socially accepted. And the few times that I can remember specifically, which I saw in that moment, was that I was talking about the things I wanted to do and the aspirations I had and the goals and dreams. I wanted to be a millionaire and all this stuff, even when I was like 5 years old. And I had, the boys around me in the schoolyard and in my mom's daycare that would laugh at me and not accept me because they thought I was weird because I was talking about different things than they were talking about, like their toy trucks and all that stuff. And I developed this belief that I couldn't be myself and be accepted. And so I blended and I compromised. I didn't speak my truth. I start speaking my reality into existence. And I realized enough was enough. And I finally said to myself that night, I'm going to do this. And it doesn't matter what anyone says anymore. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to speak my vision of where I'm going. I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be open. I'm going to be vulnerable and honest and transparent with people, because that's the only way I know how is not going to cause me more pain. I realized it was more pain to do that I was causing myself than it was to face it. And I said, no more. And I woke up the next day. I started my team, me. And I called it Team Be the Change at the time. Some of you remember that. Some of you were a part of that. Now we've just morphed it into a different name, but the vision is the same. And I was doing the same strategies as before every day. But what I was doing differently was speaking my passions, my aspirations, my goals and hopes and dreams. And what that allowed me to do, coupled with the ability to have the platform to allow me to do that with, is that 90 days later, and these results are not typical, but I added up my commissions in my back office, and I had made $16,075 that month, January of 2013. And the only difference was that I was being real and transparent and honest and speaking my truth and speaking my vision and talking about where I was, what I learned, why I'm at where I'm at now, and where I'm going. And you know what? People like that. People started to follow it, and they resonated with it. And I started to believe and understand how powerful the power of a vision is. And when someone is tapped into their heart and they don't hold back and they're true and real and authentic and they're on purpose. And so I made my purpose about everybody else's purpose. And I had a moment where in January, I looked at my whiteboard. It was clean, blank slate whiteboard. I walked over to it and wrote on the top of it my purpose. And that purpose was, 1, set people free in their minds. 2, remind them of who they really are. 3, inspire them to be the change they want to see in the world. And since then, we grew a huge team. I created a multiple 6-figure income. We continue to grow, and I continue to grow every single day. And that's the kind of opportunity and the kind of thing that anybody can create, because I had nothing. And I had to set my intention and understand why I was doing this and not be afraid. And so the real lesson there is I had the right system, I had the right platform, and I finally let go of worrying about what other people thought. I started to speak my message. And the cool part is what we have for you is something that allows you to do the same. And in fact, you can. And in fact, many have. So that's why we're here now. And so with that, I want to quickly turn it over to Amy, because Amy also has a very, very powerful story that how she came to this point. And I want you all to see some of the highlights of that and understand why she's here with all of you tonight as well. So, Amy.
Awesome. Well, it's about authenticity, right? I mean, that's my message. That's been my message even before Empower Network was here. As a matter of fact, this is kind of funny. This is a total side note, but I saw an opt-in come in today, and I was like, where did this opt-in come from? And I clicked on the link from AWeber to see like the page that they opted in. I don't even know where they found this page. It's one of the first pages I ever created on the internet, and it was for a course that I created called 7 Keys to Your Authentic Success. And it was like 8 years ago. And I don't know where that page exists, but I got a lead today from it. Hopefully the course is still online somewhere and she can find it, because I have no, but anyway, I don't know. That was just a total tangent, but because you were talking about not speaking your truth, being afraid to be yourself, and anyway.
Well, that's perfect, because that's like, wow, 8 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Something you did 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's a huge piece of, I mean, it's not easy to always be authentic, but it will serve you to always be authentic. And Chris's story is just such a beautiful, it illustrates that so beautifully. What happens when you don't. You suffer when you don't, and so my story, I come from a background of, well, several things. I've always been an entrepreneur in spirit. Like I went to college, but I never used my degree. I never saw myself as like a corporate sit in a cubicle kind of person. So eventually I found myself doing some somewhat entrepreneurial things, like I was a realtor and I was also a personal trainer. So these were things where I was working for myself, making my own hours, but I still had to leave the house to make money. A lot. Like I was always out of the house in order to make money. If you've ever been a realtor or a personal trainer, you know that, I mean, unless you have a gym in your house and people are coming to your house, but you're still, working a lot. So when I was pregnant with my first daughter, I realized when I was about 6 months pregnant that it was kind of funny because I had my real estate in another state, but I had just gotten it in Colorado. And here I am a few months later thinking, I don't want to do this anymore when she's born. I don't want to be leaving the house once this baby comes. And if you're a mother, you might understand this feeling. You don't know that it's going to happen until you actually, have a baby growing inside of you. And so I was like, at that point, I had been turned on to the network marketing industry and wasn't really doing much with it. I joined a health and wellness, like nutritional supplement company, and kind of had it as kind of a side thing that went along with my personal training business, some products that I could share, products that I really like myself, but that I could also share with my clients. But it wasn't like, it wasn't generating that much money for me. But I decided when I was 6 months pregnant that I'm not going back to work. I need to figure out a way to make this work because I need residual income and I need to be able to work from home. So, and here, I know Shalonda's on here. She probably did a lot of the stuff that I started doing. Here I was, pregnant, very pregnant, huge, driving around town with my flip chart, showing the plan in coffee shops, in blizzards, no less. My daughter was born in March, so this was like November, December. I'm like, it's snowing out. I'm driving around, committed to making this business work, like getting it to the point where I could support, I could, provide my part of the income. I was married by the time this baby came. And, I was doing stuff I didn't enjoy, but I was just committed to not going back to work. So by the time my daughter was born, I made that happen. I created a residual income, which at the time was about $2,000 a month, which, for a traditional network marketing company, it's not that bad for residual income. And considering I was married and my husband was making money too, it was enough for me to not have to go back to work. So anyway, I continued to do that and grew, to a leadership level in my network marketing company. And then when my second daughter was born, 3 years later, 4 weeks after she was born, I ended up going through an abrupt divorce. Like I was married with 2 kids one day, and the next day I was single mom with 2 kids. And I was frightened. I was scared out of my mind because I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to support these kids? $2,000 a month is not enough to like really support my family. And yet there's no way I'm going back to a job. There's no way I'm leaving my kids. My one daughter was 4 weeks old. She was nursing. And I had my 3-year-old was completely traumatized by the whole, her father being gone and everything that was going on. There was no way I was leaving them. And so I just continued to, grind it out in my network marketing business, committed to not leaving my kids, but yet I ended up losing the house, going bankrupt. It was, it was a really, really hard time of our lives. We moved from a house into a little apartment, and I was barely scraping by. I was barely able to support my family. And yet I was committed to not going back to a job because it just wasn't an option. In the meantime, my friends and family thought I was crazy. They're like, go get a job. You need to support these kids. And I'm like, no, I have a dream. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to make this work. And so eventually I learned about the internet, and I started learning some things about marketing on the internet. The thing about it, though, was that the company that I was in, the network marketing company, was not okay with me marketing stuff on the internet. You know, they said it needs to be done in person. Like, I started to see that what I was doing was everything that I was doing, I felt like a broken record. I'm showing the plan with a flip chart all over town, thinking to myself, I could record this and do it all over the world on a video. And every time somebody would join my company, I would either meet them in a coffee shop or talk to them on the phone to train them for an hour. And most of those people would never even do anything. They would never, I would say, make a list of your friends and family. And then we're going to call them, and they would be completely horrified by that. So they didn't want to do that. So most of them never did it. So all of that training that I did was a complete waste of time. And so I said to my sponsor, and I'll also just say, my sponsor, I talked to my sponsor every day, probably like 5 times a day throughout this whole process. Like, he held my hand, and I was one of his biggest leaders in that company. But I basically said to him, I'm like, I'm going to make a video that's going to train people, and I'm going to put it up on a website because I'm wasting my time. I'd rather be with my kids than hanging out in coffee shops training people that never do anything. And he was like, no, that's too impersonal. Even the owner of the company called me and told me, dear, this is a belly-to-belly business, and you can't do this on the internet. So I was frustrated because I knew that the internet was like the way to go, the way I wanted to go. And I was committed and loyal to my company, and yet my company wasn't supporting me in going down that road. And I was struggling. I mean, I could go on. I have my stories, there's a lot to it. I'm not going to tell you every little detail, but, the bottom line is I struggled and could barely pay my bills, and got to the point where, I had promised my kids a trip to Disney World based on a rank advancement that I was going to hit by a certain date so that I could get this bonus. Got my kids all excited about this trip to Disney World. And then I worked so hard to try to hit that goal, and I didn't hit the goal. And I had to renege on my word to my kids, which was probably one of the worst days of my life. I felt like a complete failure. When I had to, they had been marking off the days on the calendar and everything, and that didn't happen. And then just shortly after that, we were shopping at a thrift store for shoes for my daughter, buying sneakers. She needed sneakers for school. And that's, where we always shopped, was at thrift stores. And she had to pick out a pair of boys' sneakers because those were the only thing that they had in her size. And we're standing in line to pay for the sneakers. And I looked at my daughter's face, and I saw that she didn't complain. She never complained about anything. But I could tell she wasn't excited about these shoes. And it occurred to me in that moment that enough is enough. Like, I can't live like this anymore. Something's got to change. And it was literally, I was not open to another opportunity until that moment, because I was so loyal to my company, and I couldn't understand why so many people could succeed in this company in a shorter amount. At this point, I'd been marketing this company for 9 years, by the way, and I still couldn't pay my bills. And yet there was people in the company that came in a year before me and were at a higher rank than me, making more money than me. But yet I was still committed and loyal to this company. But after seeing the look on my daughter's face that day at the thrift store, I decided, I asked for a new way. I asked for an answer, and I was open to receiving the answer. And it was literally 2 weeks later that Empower Network launched. And I clicked on the link. I got it in an email from a guy who was, to me, this internet marketing rock star that I had been following for a long time. I clicked on the link and I joined. I never heard from my sponsor, and all I did was plug into the training. The thing that shifted, Chris had that mindset shift sitting on the curb. The thing that shifted my mindset, I remember the moment it happened, was we have a product called the Inner Circle that has these audios. And part of our 8 core commitments is to listen to an audio every day. And back in the beginning, when I first got into Empower, we didn't have hundreds of audios like we have now. We only had, Chris was doing them all too. He was interviewing people. He was the designated driver through cyberspace, because he would he would start each interview. Anyway, I listened to some of those audios over and over and over again. And there was one audio that just, it was, David Woods saying over and over again that making money doesn't have to be hard. And for me, I believe that I didn't believe him, because for me, it was like, I work my ass off and I'm still broke. So it is hard. But one day I believed him. After I listened to it probably 30 times, something shifted in me and I started to believe him, and I started to do what he said. And I started to just leverage the products. If somebody asked me for help and they need a certain kind of training, I would point them in the direction of the product that had it. And all of a sudden the floodgates opened and my bank account started to fill up. And within 2 months of being inside of this company, I replaced the income that it took me 9 years to make in my network marketing company. And after 10 months, I had my first 5-figure month. And I mean, this business has completely changed my life. And that's without support from a sponsor. That was like by myself. I mean, I didn't even hear from my sponsor until after I was a 6-figure earner, and he had made, a lot of money in pass-ups from me. He called me and introduced himself. And that's how I met Chris. So, I mean, I built a huge team on my own simply by doing what the company gives us. It's so simple. This is like the most simplified model of making money on the internet that I've ever seen. And, and so now, my sponsor is not in the company anymore, but Chris and I are here, and we have, basically, I mean, I'm so grateful for this company and what it's provided for myself and my kids. I work so much less than I used to, and our lifestyle is so much better. And now for you guys, I mean, it's you have such a blessing here, because, the two of us are here. We've created a team site for you that has stuff to even shorten the learning curve even more. And, we're just here to serve. We just want to provide, everything that we can to make it as simple as possible for you. It took me a long time to get here, and Power Network was the answer. And it happened pretty quick once I got here, but there was a long road leading up to that. And it was the same for Chris. And so I feel really grateful to be here. And I just feel like the tools that we have, the platform that we have, is just such a blessing and such a godsend. So, so that's it. That's my tonight's version of my story. I find telling my story, I'm not that good at it. Chris is a master at it. But I mean, my story, like, there's so much of it. It's like, how do you cram it down into like a little short nugget of it? I don't know. Hopefully that wasn't too much for you guys. Chris, I think you're muted because I can't hear you.
I'm not. I just unmuted myself. I'm letting you talk for once. And that's funny because, like, even like I tried to succinct and put my story even in half the time that it took me to tell it. I wanted to tell it in half the time. And sometimes it's difficult, but what I realize is it's important. And what, there's a reason why we were telling this to even a lot of people who've already heard this tonight. Because for one, a lot of you, you have heard that story and then you heard it tonight and you got something else out of it. And a lot of you are like, I love hearing this. I've heard people tell me this. I love hearing this story. And like, they want to hear how I tell it every time, because telling your story and being real is such an important part of your business, because your story is actually a major part of your message, because people got to understand where you came from to understand where you're at, to also know where you're going. And so that story will also illustrate how you found the solution and what you discovered along the way. And so, like, that brings me to this moment now where you see my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Amy, can you see my screen?
Yep.
And it's this next slide, which is what we discovered along the way. And, what it brought us to is this system we use now, which, essentially solves the biggest issue ever, which for me, even when I was in real estate, I was like, I wish I could create another stream of income outside of this. And I wish I could build a website and then just sell products online. I bet you I could create a lot more passive residual income doing that than something else. And, what I was like, but I don't know how to build a website. And I don't have 10 grand to get a custom made website. And the funny thing is, you don't need any of that now. You don't have to have any HTML understanding or knowing how to build a website, because we have this type of stuff already set up. And we didn't even have to create something on our own to sell or learn to sell in order to do this. Now, if you learn how to sell, which I have and Amy has, you can do better and more of it on your own, which is why we feel we're qualified, and we've proven that the Next Level Mastermind can sell for you as well. And you'll see some of that, and we'll teach you some of that throughout this process of these slides. We've only got a few more tonight, but there's some training in here, so pay attention. And so understanding that, you know, a lot of people are like, well, how do you make money online? You got to have something to sell. Well, we have something for you to sell, which is already an awesome product, which we're going to get into in a bit here, of something that is already got a guarantee, that's already got all the things it needs, that is there and packaged for you that you can sell. And it's also the same thing you can use. So the infrastructure's there. And what we found from this is that instead of having to work on all of that infrastructure and all of that programming and stuff, is that most of our time could be donated to and committed to being creative, speaking our own unique message from the heart, and attracting the community that we wanted around us with the same hopes, values, and aspirations. And that's who we have here with us tonight. And you can do the same. You can be a part of one. You can even create your own if you have a unique vision. Just all we ask is that you start with someone so you learn the ropes, right? But we'll never stop you from growing beyond, you know, what our vision may be. If you choose to grow that way, we want to support you in that. We've done that for many people who have grown and gone on to become multiple six-figure earners now in this industry that started in our team. You know, people who had no success whatsoever. And so just know that, you know, we may be in business for ourselves, but like I said earlier, not by ourselves. And so how does this really, how did we do this? How did I create, you know, where in my company, I'm just nearing what I've done online in the last couple of years, you know, is just over $300,000. And so those results are not typical, okay? But that's what I've personally done in my own business. But, you know, your results could vary and will vary based on your level of skill. And I worked my tail off and studied and went above and beyond what most people would be willing to do in order to create that. So my results are anything but typical. Now, the good news is that, you know, you can choose to do that too and create what you want. So what we did is essentially I started speaking my message. And for me, my topics and my things that I was blogging about was inspiration, self-development, and business philosophy. Because that's what I loved and that's what I was passionate about. That's what I had done. I'd read all the business books, all the success books, personal development books. I'd read all those throughout the years being in network marketing, being exposed to it. And so I felt like I was able to have a unique perspective combined with my unique experiences and my own story and my realizations that allowed me to have content that people were just inspired by. And the fact that I was just willing to be completely real and transparent and authentic and talk about, hey, this is what I got from this book. This is how I see it. What about you? People would respond. This is how I feel about it, right? And so I started blogging. You know, I was blogging before, but my blog posts, gosh, I deleted those. I just didn't even like them. I was like, wow, that wasn't me, right? So I basically started over. And I created a blog post, started making videos, all different kinds. I had screen capture ones, one where I was right on camera, upload it to my blog. I'd write blog posts. And then I got into promoting those posts on social media. It's the same thing Amy does. We now have an assistant that actually does most of this for us automated, where she automates it. She does it where she posts a lot of this stuff on social media sites and finds the places where the blog posts are relevant to post, where we get eyeballs on it, that people would be interested in it and actually resonate with it. And so you see some of the social media sites, obviously Facebook, Twitter, StumbleUpon, Tumblr, Pinterest, just to name a few, many, many more. But essentially the concept here is that, you know, we were promoting that all over social media. I was telling my story on social media. I was even doing paid Facebook newsfeed posts on social media, telling my story and what I learned and my perspective and sending them to our company's capture systems and letting them do the work. And so people who liked our content reshared it and even opted in to learn more about what we did or about how we did what we did. And so the same thing happened with Amy, and I'm going to have her actually share a little bit of what she does now as well here in a minute. But ultimately we sent them to an offer to buy our products, and inside of Kalatu here now, which is the latest incarnation of our platform, our blogging platform, we sent them to buy that. We sent them to proven sales messaging that wasn't done by us, but someone who knows how to do that. So you don't have to know how to do that when you start, right? And we followed up with our own emails that sent people to even more blog posts until that person either decided to join the community or stopped opening the emails, right? And so, it's not like it was a complex thing. We picked a topic, started creating content around it, promote that content, and, got it on social media, and then captured leads, sent people to buy those products, and kept on following up with them to give them more value. And so let me describe the actual model to you in short so that you get essentially how you can explain this to someone, how you can talk about this. And for those of you who have not been exposed yet to this tonight, I want you to see this and understand this, okay? So what you'll see here is how we did it. Number one, create a blog post of your topic or your passion. And at first, you may not necessarily know that from day one. You're just going to start ranting about how you feel about things, just like you would on Facebook, except you're going to keep it positive and something that you would think about that someone else would go, you know what, I would get some value out of this. I would like to read this. I'd be inspired by this. You know what? I didn't know that until I read that blog post. Being a reporter, sharing information, right? Taking that blog post, sharing and promoting that on social media sites. And when people read those, they see it on social media sites, they click on it, they read the blog post, they watch the videos, then you have your call to action. We teach you how to do that. Collect leads from your blog posts. Send those leads, down here number 4, to a proven sales message, which is not something you have to do. That's something that the company does, and it sells for you. And once you have that, then there's only going to be about 10 to 15% of the people that are going to buy from you the first time. The rest of them need to see more. They need to see more content, more value. You need to be able to send them more information. And so normally it's just about them deciding to work with you. So they want to keep seeing more stuff. They want to know if you're consistent. They want to know if you're going to continue to creating blog posts and that you're going to be there, right? And so you keep emailing those people that you collected leads from, and you email them your other blog posts to the people that opted in and offer more value to them. And ultimately, when you keep doing that, more people join. And then once they join, when you make sales, which you get a commission for, that you didn't have to do the selling yourself, you plug the new members into a training support community like the Next Level Mastermind. Simplified process that has worked many, many times over and over again. Now, you'll notice that Amy actually did a lot of video marketing at first, where she made a lot of videos and she put it on her blog, and then those videos were being found on YouTube, but also being found on her blog posts in the search engines, as well as just promoting it like we talked about earlier. And even now to this day, she, on average, Amy, let me know here and feel free to jump in here. I think it's like you're averaging, what are you averaging in leads a day from doing a blog post a day?
I'm getting somewhere average 30, between 20 and 40.
Very cool. Every day. That's cool, right? And that's from blogging, right? And how long do those blog posts normally take you every day?
Well, yeah, the ones on my CrossFit blog really don't take me very long. When I show you guys, like, I'm asking for guest bloggers, and I'm getting a lot of them now. Even doctors and awesome people are coming and writing some of my content for me. So sometimes it takes me no time. I just put it up there and add their bio and their picture, and it takes me no time. And even some of the other ones that I do myself don't really take me very long, because I'll just find like a cool video that's related to, my niche, or an infographic or something like that. Yeah, they take me anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes.
Awesome. Okay, so hold that thought. And I know you're getting ready here, so thank you for that on what you're going to show us here in a second. But I want to give like a few more points here for people to understand is, in order to do this, here's the things you actually need. So here's what you need to win on this stuff. I'm going to give you some examples here in a minute. But the first one is an optimized for-profit blog, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that is. But lead collecting capture pages that are proven, which we have those. A proven working sales message, which we have. Automatic product delivery. You don't have to worry about any of that. When you send people to a sales message and they buy, the company handles all of that stuff for you already. They create the account, they get them set up, they get them all that for the product, right? And the step-by-step guide on how to operate, it's called the Fast Start training, and we have extra stuff with the Next Level Mastermind. But what we really feel that you need, which is what we offer as well uniquely, is a community of like-minded entrepreneurs to support you. And then the best part, a way to get paid for recurring products in a timely manner. And that's with our e-wallets that come from the company processing the payments for us and then dumping the money in our bank accounts, which is way cool. You don't have to deal with any of that. So what if we told you all that was in place already for you here? And let me give you an idea of what a blog how it really works, because it's a simplified form from before of the 6 processes, but I want you to follow me here and don't be overwhelmed by this. And I would encourage you to look at the black numbers, right? This is the flow of it that you get to see. For those of you that kind of process information a little differently than what I described before, this gives you a better idea that you can see. If you see number 1 says, you're creating blog posts, and obviously Amy has a CrossFit blog she's going to show you guys here in a minute, as well as a marketing blog and another cool one, special surprise. I think I'm really excited about that. And with that, you just go to right here, follow the arrow to promote those posts on social media sites. When you do that, people see it, and that causes traffic. People click on it, which is website visitors, traffic to your leads. I know this is very simplified for a lot of you. Most of you get this, but some of you really overcomplicate this. You got to understand that this is like, there may be something in here you're not doing that you're like, wow, that kind of is why things aren't working for me. You see, because with that blog and those proven capture pages that are there and set up for you that you don't have to create, which is normally created by people who are very advanced in marketing and understand how to do that and test that, those blog posts can collect leads for you. See that? Collecting leads. And once you collect those leads, you send them to a proven message. Notice how the blog is in the middle here? It's the central nerve. You keep sending people back to this thing, right? Because once you send them to a message and then they're on your lead list, a lot of them don't buy it first. And then you send them more blog posts. So you're sending them back to your blog again. It's the central nerve that everything operates from. And they're going to see more value from you. They're going to see more things that you're passionate about. They're going to know what you stand for. They're going to know what you're about. And they're going to really like you and keep following you and eventually choose to join you, or they're going to choose to say, I don't really resonate with this person. And they're going to leave. And you want that because you don't want that type of person around or joining your business because they're going to be annoying, right? So really, you want to filter out the people that aren't like you, because then you argue with them and play stupid games like mine's better and oh yeah, how about this? You don't want that, right? So ultimately, when they do join, then from your blog and from your emails, make new blog sales, plug them into the community, the team site, which is here, right? So just another way to help you understand how the blog, it's your central nerve of your business, and attempting to do business without a content generation platform, a mode that you can get value in teaching out there, which is the new selling anyway, which is teaching and giving value where people feel like they've gotten value and something out of that and learned something, and then say, okay, now check this out if you want to know more, right? And then let the experts, leave the selling to the experts, but you do the teaching part. Do the part that's fun for you, that you're passionate about. Just like, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen now because I'm going to let Amy show you guys a little bit of what she's done and how this works for her as well. Go ahead, Amy, take it away and show them a little bit about the blogs that you use and some of the cool stuff you do, because one of the biggest fallacies is a lot of people think they have to blog about, marketing or making money or business. And, proven with your 30 leads a day average, that's not necessarily the case. So, yeah, what you got?
All right, should I share my screen?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. Now I can't see what I'm sharing. Okay, there we go. Can you see my CrossFit blog on the screen?
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is the blog that I'm blogging daily on, called The CrossFit Junkie, and all this is like, this isn't, like I said, a lot of the stuff on here is guest bloggers at this point, and just articles, you know, like this this one here is a video interview with this guy. I mean, I didn't create the interview. I just posted it on here and wrote about it. He got banned from the CrossFit Games because he took a supplement that had something in it that was, he got drug tested and he got banned, and he didn't even realize it was in it. It's a big controversial thing. So this has to do with CrossFit. This one here was sent to me yesterday by a woman who wrote this amazing article. And she's promoting it all over social media. She's from WOD Nation. And so anyway, I'll just show you real quick, like what I do when someone sends me a guest post. I do the image, but basically she wrote this whole thing, and I say guest post by Sabrina Taylor. It's this awesome article with 3 myths. And then I have her bio with a link back to her site here. And I have a post on my blog asking for guest posts. But the other thing that I do, let me show you this real quick. At the bottom here, I have a place where people can subscribe to my blog. And when they're opting in here, all they're asking for are updates from my blog. And I'm posting on this blog every day. So what happens here is I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm not trying to sell them my business or anything like that. All I'm doing is they go on a list where I've created a blog broadcast, which you can do inside of your autoresponder. And basically what that means is every time I click publish on my blog, this list, people that have opted into this box, get an email automatically every time I click publish. And the email looks like this. So they get an email from the CrossFit Junkie, busted 3 common stretching myths that are affecting your WOD. So every day they get a piece of valuable content that's coming from my blog. They can, you know, read the excerpt here and click here to read more. Now, the other thing that I do with this is I have some call to actions just right here on my email, on my sidebar, which what's cool about this is where I can take somebody from just reading about CrossFit to maybe wanting to learn more about some other stuff. Like here I say, want to be a guest blogger on the CrossFit Junkie. This is why I get so many guest bloggers. We'd love to have your article, and then click here for more information. All this does is takes them to, so they can email me. And so they email me, they tell me what they want to blog about. I've had to turn some people away because they wanted to blog about negative stuff, and I don't allow negative stuff on my blog. But I've gotten, so far I have 2 doctors that have blogged on my blog. Like I'm starting to get like a lot of really cool stuff going on. I have, I get a lot of contact, a lot of people contact me through my blog. I have people now sending me products to review. Like I'll show you when I come back on the screen, this little deck of cards somebody just sent me called the Mobility on Demand mod, and it's a deck of cards where it has like each card has a mobility exercise. So she sent me this for free, wants me to review it on my blog, and is offering me affiliate commissions for anyone that buys it from my blog. I have people offering to or asking if they can pay me to advertise on my blog now, just because I'm blogging every day and I'm getting a lot of traffic. So there's a lot of like really cool like side benefits to just providing a lot of content where my stuff is just showing up anywhere, like everywhere. If anyone's ever looking for like any kind of CrossFit image, I dare you to go look for any kind of CrossFit image. My images are everywhere. So that's why I always try to make cool images for my blog. That's kind of a side note. But then down here, I say cash in on your passion. Want to get paid for blogging about your passions? I can help you. Click here for more information. And I have this at the bottom of a lot of my blog posts as well. Like, you know, I love blogging. I get paid to blog about CrossFit. What are your passions? Would you like to learn how to get paid for them? I can help you. So I put that as a call to action at the bottom of a lot of my blog posts. And so if someone clicks here, it takes them to more information about our company and our blogging platform. And then here, I'm just talking about the product itself. Need a sleek and user-friendly blogging platform for your business? Click here to get access to your $7 trial. God, I can't even talk, for the Kalatu blogging platform now. So that's a product link. You know, this is more information about the product. This is more information about the business. So what happens if someone clicks one of these links, now they get dumped onto another list where they're not just going to be getting, they're still going to be getting my CrossFit articles every day, but they're also going to be getting the other information that they asked for. So out of all of the opt-ins that I'm getting on my blog, not all of them are interested in the business the minute that they opt in. They're just opting in to get my articles on a daily basis. But what happens is, as they stay on my list and they get these emails every day with all this stuff right here and at the bottom of all my blog posts, a lot of them eventually transfer over onto the other list. So I don't know, I hope that makes sense. So that's kind of, let me go back to my blog for a minute. That's kind of, you know, how this works. So this is a call to action that's built into the Klaatu blog. We have a lot of different options here for call to actions. Few of them are to just get people to share the content. So if it's a really good article that's really, really content rich, you know, I just encourage people to share it because then I get a lot more traffic. And then so a lot of my posts will just have a call to action about, you know, on this particular blog, I'm not really like I don't have a lot of call to action about the business, but I do have a call to action about the blog. We have a call to action that's specifically about the Klaatu blogging platform. And so at the bottom of my blog post, I'll say, P.S. You want to learn how to get paid about your passions, click here to find out. And then there'll be a call to action that's also built into the blog here that talks about Klaatu. So people can click on that. And so I'm just bridging from my CrossFit content into getting paid to blog about your passions. And then I also have it here in my author box. Thank you for reading my posts. I love blogging about CrossFit as well as telling people how to earn an income by blogging about their passions. I'd love to help you work from home and create a life you love. Learn more here. Show me the way. So this link takes them to, again, the company sales materials about the, you know, the blogging platform that we have. So this is, you know, super, super simple. Oh, the other thing I have are banners. I have a banner here and I have one on the bottom as well that I've customized for CrossFit people, but it says stop doing what you hate and start doing what you love. Click here. So this is a call to action about the business opportunity. Even though it's on my CrossFit blog, I've customized the banner so that it appeals to CrossFit people, but it's actually a call to action for business, for you know, our business opportunities. So so anyway, so I have that there. Now, another blog that I have.
Amy, real quick.
Yeah.
Question. So now you showed some posts that people did, you know, that guest posted on there. But I think I just want to draw the quick distinction because they didn't actually see. You didn't start out just having guest posts, did you?
No, and I still do a lot of my own posts. The reason I have so many guest posts now is because I have so much traffic, and when you have a blog with a lot of traffic, everybody wants to be a guest blogger. So people are contacting me all the time now asking to post. But like I find cool like recipes, like I did this one. I mean, most of the stuff on here is from me, but I am getting a lot of, yeah, this was one of my most popular ones. Should I have a CrossFit boyfriend? Pros and cons to dating a fellow CrossFitter. You like this picture? Now wake up, bitch. It's time to go to the gym with Snow White. So,
oh God. So the question here is like, you know, a lot of people are like, okay, well, you know, how hard was it to set up this kind of a blog? And, you know, for us, it's a Klaatu blog, which is essentially, you know, you log in and you added a few pictures. And this whole structure, you get to pick a theme, right? I mean, there's no HTML coding. For people who are like wondering how much they have to do here, like how simple is this?
It's so simple. This blog looks like this out of the gate, and I'll show you another.
Like that video up top there, that's just like, what is it? Like
this video is basically, you can put in a URL for any video on YouTube and it'll play here. And then you can choose whether or not you have audio. I have the audio turned off on mine, and there's a mute button up here. So if you do have audio on it and people don't want to listen to it, they can mute it. I made this video. It's a compilation video I took of a bunch of different CrossFit clips. And I did put a soundtrack to it, but I just chose not to have the soundtrack playing just in case people are going to my blog. If they're at work and they're not supposed to be on my blog, I don't want them to get in trouble. So I turn the music off. But basically, you could take somebody else's video off of YouTube or any video that you've made for your niche, and all you do is in the back office is put the URL in, and it plays here. You can also have an image, which I'll show you on the other blog that we did. That's actually my daughter's blog, and she doesn't have a video, she has an image here. But literally, it's like a couple clicks. I didn't even change any of the colors on this blog. Like it comes, like these are the colors it comes with. All this stuff is just colors it comes with. I did not change one thing on here.
So you're essentially just uploading pictures and typing in words into certain forms.
Yeah, like, let me give you an example of like an infographic or something that I did. So, because sometimes, yeah, sometimes I barely, anyway, I'll just click on anything.
This stuff is just like what you're passionate about. This is like,
yeah. So I wrote this article called "Is CrossFit a Cult?" and I put this picture. When you do your blog post, there's a place where you just put in a featured image, and this is where it shows up. And what I love about Kalatu, unlike a regular WordPress platform blog, is that like on my other, I have another blog that I've had for like 10 years that's just WordPress, not Kalatu. And when I put my featured image in, it makes it all weird shaped and crops off some of my words and stuff. It's such a pain in the neck. This, it just puts it in exactly the way that you choose it. And then, you know, I just write in, you know, what I have to say, and if I want to put another picture or whatever. And there's this post was inspired by a thread that was going on in the Facebook group in my CrossFit gym that day, which I thought was really funny. So I just wrote an article about Is CrossFit a Cult? Because she wrote, question number 1, better to desperately try for one muscle up and get one RX point or get lots of scaled points. Question number 2 and number 3, when did I get so deeply immersed into this cult and start asking questions as above? Will I be okay? And all these people were chiming in, and it's hilarious. So I just took a screenshot of this Facebook post, threw it in here, and then I just, you know, I put a little bit of words before and after, and I circled mine, so I'm like, here's what I had to say about it. And then I always, at the end, I always just say, now I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you feel like CrossFit is a cult or whatever? And then I ask them to share their comments and stuff. But no, this does not take a long time. What's so cool about this too is like all this formatting, like the blog makes everything look really cool. And again, on this particular blog, I didn't change any of the fonts. I didn't change any of the colors. I didn't do anything to it. This is what the blog looks like right out of the gate. So I have 2 other blogs right now inside of Kalatu where I did customize some stuff, and I can show you that as well. But even if you do, like I did put my own logo in here, which is optional, but even if you don't, like on this one, I didn't, right? And I just have my name. And this one, I did change the fonts and stuff, right? But even if you don't, like it still looks really good for not, you know, like I changed some of the colors on my social media card on this one. On here, I don't even have like custom banners or anything. I just have the banner from our company that goes directly to, you know, the capture form from our company and stuff like this. But like on this one, you know, I chose a different main font and some different colors and stuff like that. But this thing is so easy to customize. I mean, it literally, like within 5 minutes, your blog can look exactly the way that you want it to. And then the rest of it it looks the way that it does as you post. Like every time I post a blog post, it takes the featured image and puts it in the sidebar over here. And with the title, so people can click. And this is what just like adds color and flavor to your blog. Like on this one also, it adds it to my sidebar. And then this one on the home page has, you know, on this theme, the home page has all of your blogs here. So when I first started this blog, my first post, I just had one picture here and one title. But as I add more posts, this stuff all shows up here automatically. And then you have categories and stuff too. So like if someone wants to just, so I have a lot of different categories on this blog. So if somebody comes over and see, I have all these different categories. So if someone just wants like recipes, they click on paleo, and then here all my, just my paleo stuff shows up here.
So I personally think that CrossFit is a cult. That's my personal belief, but but I would love to see Brielle's blog.
Yeah. Okay. So this is to show you how simple it is. My 10-year-old, we get multiple blogs inside of Klaatu, which is awesome for one price. So I gave my 10-year-old a blog, and whoops, that's not hers. So she has the same theme as me, and this is hers. So this is just a picture of her instead of a video, and she wanted different colors and stuff, but I mean, it's super, super simple. And then I showed her how to like beef up her images and stuff. So she makes these little like thought bubbles. She's hilarious. Like, she did this show with her friend. It's called the Simone and Brielle Show. They've done 2 episodes so far. And she puts like, I hope Simone's okay. She looks the tiniest bit off today. What am I saying? I look weird too. And she does. And so here's their video, because she has a YouTube channel too. And what's so cool is this blog post was like yesterday, heartbroken and happy. I don't know where she comes up with this stuff, but it's so cute. And this one she did while I've been on this webinar, because she was starting a blog post. Okay, so this is so cool, because I'm seeing this for the first time. Top 10 movies that I recommend. Now, let me tell you how cool this is. We are right now going through a list of movies that I found on somebody's blog. I Googled inspirational movies, and I found a blog post that said 16 movies you must watch before you're 40. So I missed the boat on the 40 piece, but my kids are under 40. So we're watching all of the movies that were recommended to us from this blog. And I think that's probably where she got this idea to do this blog post. But how cool is that? That my daughter is like blogging. She's getting ideas from other blogs and stuff like that. So anyway, this is her blog. And it's the same theme as mine. And, I just taught her a couple things about, how to make cute images and stuff. And she's been blogging on here by herself.
Oh my God.
And she's answering comments and stuff by herself.
Me and B are absolutely kindred spirits. You're going to have to tell her this, that the movie that's like number 2 on her list for there is like one of, funny enough, hard to admit, I probably don't like that movie for the same reason.
We watched it together in Hawaii, remember?
Oh, that's right. I showed you guys. Yeah. Because I love Hawaii. And so like I used to watch that a lot because I loved like the waves and the surfing, and the girls are pretty hot too. So, but it's like I actually like that movie a lot. So it's like, just let her know that. It's one of my favorite movies too.
Yeah. Well, we've watched Blue Crush 2 also. It's not as good as the first one. It's completely different. They could be 2 totally different movies. They have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah. So anyways, we got to keep moving, Amy.
Yep.
But this is like, what I really wanted to do here was like show people like how simple it actually is to be able to do that and use a blog. Like, it's not complicated, and this comes out of the box like this, right?
Yep.
So any other last thoughts here before we roll into the next thing?
I said I'd show you guys this deck of cards. So this is like one of the products that somebody just recently, stuff's like showing up in my mail now from having a CrossFit blog.
Awesome.
It's pretty awesome what can happen just from blogging.
Way awesome. And so like what I actually want to do here real quick is show that, like, if you guys can see my screen now, this is like the front page of the product itself that shows you, I'll go through it here slowly. This platform can be used for a lot of different things in business, as well as just selling the blog itself. But there's all these different themes, all these different ones. You saw the one that Amy had, but that's just one out of like 8 that they have right now that have different layouts, and you can change the colors and change the fonts. Very simple, just visual stuff. And you can even put in your own custom domains, which Amy has done too. And we've got the customer service from the company to help with that, and all this other cool stuff. And it's SEO friendly, so it has the best chances of ranking in the search engines. It's secure hosting, which is really needed. And the theme editors, they're all visual, drag and drop stuff. You can take a URL you can take a link from a YouTube video and literally drag and drop it into the post, and the video shows up, right? And so it's perfect, right? So this is like someone who thought they always needed a website. It's not. It's all right here set up for you, along with even all the banners and all the other stuff that you didn't even know that you needed, and now you do. So here are some of the things I want to just quick guidelines about to help you guys what not to do with this kind of thing. Here's what can cause you to not have success. Here's the don'ts, all right? Here's what you should not do once you get your blog and you're starting to do this stuff. Don't go around randomly on social media posting your join link to people all over the internet with big hyped up promises that you cannot guarantee. And what I mean by that is talking about how they could make so much money doing something when you don't have a basis yet if you're new. And there's nothing wrong with talking about a story about someone who has made money, and then also disclaiming, saying, look, those results may not be typical, but that's what worked for them. Your results will vary too. But just being able to make sure that you're not one of those people that are the hypey, schemy, scammy ones online, attempting to give promises to people that you cannot deliver on, because this is a business that people have to create their own and do their own blog posts. If you do that stuff, if you try to say you do that stuff for them, it's not smart. It doesn't last. It's not sustainable. So don't be that guy or that girl that's going around being annoying, okay? You don't want to just spam your link and say, hey, make money from this. It's stupid. Never works, and it's annoying, and it gets you banned from most social media sites. The next thing is don't attempt to act like a guru, especially when you just start. Trying to act like you know about something that you don't, trying to fake, the whole fake it till you make it thing. Some people actually have no ethics and will just start talking about stuff they think they know they have no idea about, and they'll just lie about stuff and make stuff up because they want to compete, thinking that's what they have to do. And that's crazy, and it short circuits their business. And we never teach you to do anything like that. We teach you to come from where you're coming from and what's unique to you, and it works. So the next thing is, trying to recreate the wheel with untested stuff, trying to do, there's nothing wrong with testing out proven marketing techniques, but don't go teach stuff you don't know or acting like you don't know, kind of like the first one or the second one about acting like a guru. And trying to recreate your own marketing pages before you've actually created some results. Now, as an example, Amy and I both create some of our own marketing pages and capture pages and sales pages because we've learned how to do that, and we've created multiple six figures online. So we can do that because we've learned some of that stuff. But when you're new, there's no need to do that. We didn't start out that way. We started out using the proven systems. And from there, we were able to get creative when we learned. But we absolutely did not make our big money doing things in a customized way, recreating the wheel, trying to reinvent something that was already proven to work. So that's the thing here that we wanted you to understand is, with the Next Level Mastermind, we help you get started and show you how not to do this, stuff that just people come into and don't know any better. So, and who's going to tell you unless we help you understand how to avoid the pitfalls of this, right? And so here's what you should do. Here's what we do teach you. How to create blog posts about things you love. You just saw Amy show that. Then go and post stuff that is valuable and informative to people, inviting them to read your blog post for cool tips or value. Now, you see, even on social media or on Facebook, places, even Instagram or Pinterest, people post an article, maybe not on Pinterest, this is a little different, post an article about something that's newsworthy or 3 tips on something. And if it applies, you're like, let me go read this and see what I can learn, what I can find out. And you need to be doing the same thing. Not going up there spamming your link, trying to take something from somebody right away without giving any value, but actually posting something, hey, here's me. This is what I'm showing you. This is what I'm teaching you. And this is what I'm about. This gives the person a chance to like you or not. And always refer to the success of others that came before you, and talk confidently that you will be creating results with your system and community as well. Not always talking about yourself is a good thing. Do you ever want to go on a date with someone only to have them sit there and talk about themselves all night? The same thing applies here. And so don't worry about having to be the expert or the authority somewhere. People will know that when your content is that good through you teaching it naturally and effectively. But if you're just being real about yourself and you're talking about what you believe in and what you're passionate about, what you love, and reporting information on stuff you're into, then now you're winning. And the person's like, wow, this person's bringing me all this cool stuff. I want to continue to keep reading it. What are they going to post tomorrow? Let me opt into this blog so I can find out what they post about tomorrow so I get an email about it, just like Amy showed you. So, and simply follow the training provided from the community. You can create results much faster than you believe. So when you lock arms with the Next Level Mastermind, we help you get started. And so here's what this is, okay? Here's specifically what this is. The Kalatu viral blogging system, which is what Amy showed you, those Kalatu blogs, right? Powered by Empower Network. And the affiliate program, which is the actual program that allows you to resell these blogs as a business owner, as someone to get paid commissions for referring people to those sales messages. Now, normally you could buy that from any affiliate inside of Empower Network, the Kalatu system, the affiliate program, but what you get here is something special, something a little different. You see, when you get the starter kit with Kalatu and the affiliate program, you also get free access to the Next Level Mastermind training and support community. Okay? So understand that this viral blogging system is the plug and play blogging system setup. Just like Amy said, she has that set up 5 minutes. You can have it looking like that. An easy to use format so that you can start driving traffic and generating leads as soon as you place your order. And the affiliate program to resell, this is literally how you get and break chains from the hourly pay as you lock arms and join the elite ranks of noteworthy affiliates in the industry and finally experience the potential to earn life-changing commissions from selling our state-of-the-art products. And they are, and they're awesome, and they continue to get better and better because we have the infrastructure to support that. Now, in the Next Level Mastermind, we have something a little special for you, okay? So if you were to add up all this individually with, you know, this plug and play site, which if you had to pay someone to code that for yourself, even if you went to go set up a WordPress site yourself, I spent like days trying to get colors right and images right. And like Amy said, on her own WordPress, you know, that she had to go buy hosting for and then set up herself, the featured image doesn't even work right. Still to this day, right? So, you know, web hosting as well.
Security, I pay $40 a month for security on that site because it got hacked so many times.
That's ridiculous. This is cheaper than that. Mm-hmm. So web hosting on premium super fast content delivery, optimized hosting, you normally have to pay about $100 just for that in hosting alone. We have that here with the Kalatu system. Proven lead capture pages from an expert who, if you had to pay this expert to create that for you personally, it'd be, you know, they charge like $100 to $500 an hour, depending on how, you know, good they are, how much they do, who they are, what niche, and all that type of stuff. You get access to all of that, proven ones, right? Plus proven sales videos and promotional content to sell your system for you. And just as a quick side note, if you were to pay a copywriter to create a sales letter for you or a video sales letter, they normally they write their own tickets most of the time because they're so good. Copywriters run the world because they know how to sell so well, right? Well, they get paid up to $10,000 to $15,000 even for one sales message. I know copywriters who get paid $25,000 for one sales letter, okay? Now, ones who are not so good, maybe around $5,000, but they're not so good. So I don't know if it's really worth it, right? But you get access to all of that already inside here from people who've already done that effectively, right? And then you don't have to worry about payment stuff. Proven merchant, shopping cart, takes and processes the payments, deposits into your account every 2 weeks. We call it an e-wallet, right? Which you can go pay credit cards from or deposit into your bank account from there. They dump it into your e-wallet, and every you know, essentially from the time you make the sale, you get that commission for that sale within about 2 weeks, but actually about 12 days actually. And so you get that, your earned income from referring those products. So you get all of this in the starter kit. Just to get going is the Kalatu system, $25 a month, monthly, for all that stuff. Now think about this. This is like $1,000, $100 a month, $1,100. You know, let's put that now 11,000. Let's just say 100 here, so 11,200. If it could be as much as 11,500. Merchants, which normally will cost about $100 a month before you even start taking payments, and then they take 3 to 7% of, you know, the payment in their fees, and then a lot more in hidden fees. Trust me, it's normally more than $100 a month. I know because I have them, right? But instead, you get all this for $25 a month and the ability to be an affiliate, which is $19.95 a month. So all of this stuff you would have to done on your own, where you can plug into this proven system for $44.95. And the coolest part is when you refer this system, the Kalatu system, 70% commissions. And you see the Kalatu system has other products. We have the Inner Circle upgrade product, the mindset product that Amy was referring to, 70% on that too, 70% on all of them. We have products that are high level advanced training products when you're ready for that cost $3,500. When you sell one of those, 70% from that, that's a lot. It's a lot of money to be able to sell. It's being sold for you, okay? So that's one heck of a deal, I think, which is why we've had, we've done over $148 million in sales, over 15 certified people who've made over $1 million with this system and commissions.
Isn't it 16 now with Alex and Anna?
Yes, 16 with Alex and Anna because they just passed, so 16 now. And yes, thank you for that. And over 100 people who've made six figures, including me and Amy. And thousands of people who've made their first dollar and are making small incomes, part-time incomes, as well as full-time incomes with Kalatu, empowered by Empower Network. Almost a play on words. And so there's actually a little bit more. So here you go. Even more, as a part of being a member of the Next Level Mastermind, when you join with a member of the Next Level Mastermind, and I want you all who are members already to pay very close attention to this. This is how you're different. This is the distinction that you have, which is access to special training every week on how to build your business, as well as selling the Kalatu system for you as a community, which is what we're doing right now, right? And access to insider strategic training on how to efficiently build your business and promote the blog products as well. That's inside our team site. And access to our special team Facebook group where you can get your questions answered almost instantly on building your business. You post a question in there and people are normally always responding quite quickly. And what I want to do here is, I already got it up. This is the site. So Next Level Mastermind, you can see here, you get all of this training inside of here. When it finally loads and goes to the front page, it's because I'm on the Hangout. And my connection is not that strong. Amy, can you still hear me okay right now?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
Okay. All right. Let me make sure that this is going to work. I want to show you guys the site real quick. Next Level Mastermind. As you can see, there's blog posts here that people can use to even promote promotional content that you can follow up with people and send them to stuff that actually helps them make a buying decision. And that's something that the Next Level Mastermind does for you, okay? And on top of that, we have, tools and resources, welcome emails, marketing co-ops, marketing frameworks, which is actually like videos, showing you how to leverage and work with the community, how to create your own positioning, how to think through your marketing, how to effectively blog and present your content, the awareness levels, promotion processes for you to just follow, just plug in, right? And the blogging training that Amy's also come up with, it's extra training on top of the stuff Kalatu and Empower offer, using Kalatu to come up with ideas, customizing your blog banners. Like, it's all step-by-step stuff in here on how to do that. And even cool inspiration stuff, which I'm going to put my talk in here as well. I see you've got yours in here. So time to finally upload mine. And so, we've even got an FAQ page that if someone's just kind of confused about what we do, this is also going to be in a team autoresponder that you can see. It has a video here that has me actually showing you and drawing out for you how the system works for you, what you get, and access to our community, who we are, what we're about, and all the questions someone could ask. We've put them here because we've always gotten those questions. So we know the most frequently asked questions. We have them here for you to be able to answer. You can send all of this promotional material out to people, okay? So, and then the live stream, which is obviously where you can tune in to the live stream, which is here. And
They're all there right now.
What's that?
Everyone's on that page right now.
I love that. Started a vegan blog, Jacqueline, actually converting people to veganism now. Haha, that is awesome. That is awesome. So, okay, so what I want to do here is actually, now is that cool? I mean, I think that's cool. And so, we have a team Facebook group as well, which obviously, has people asking questions in there and having people show, essentially getting guidance. And so normally those questions don't take long at all to get answered for people, and it's effective. So one last thing I want to do here, which is, when you join the Next Level Mastermind, here's what we're about. Here's our vision. We're a team of like-minded entrepreneurs and servitude leaders who are dedicated to helping others create profits, prosperity, and purpose. We lead with one goal in mind: to provide an environment for growth. Our team has become one of the most highly sought after teams inside the Klaatu community because we provide unparalleled support, resources, and focused training that delivers real results in your Klaatu business, in addition to the training you'll get from the Klaatu products. The Next Level Mastermind provides our members with an enormous amount of bonus training and support that goes far beyond what is required to achieve success from home. That includes live weekly hangouts and calls, targeted assignments, step-by-step action plans with the top leaders on our team, webinars, conference calls, a training site filled with comprehensive library, video tutorials, marketing tools, lead generating traffic co-ops, and over-the-shoulder access to see exactly what real six-figure earners are doing each and every day to build their income with the Klaatu system. Join us. So if that's you and you're here and you're new tonight and you're wondering how you can take your hopes, goals, dreams, and aspirations and turn them into an income, now you know the platform, the system, the tools, and the community to do it with. And I invite you just to click that link below that says Get Started with the Next Level Mastermind. Get inside and get your starter kit, at least, if not upgrade to the Inner Circle, because that stuff is life-changing. Get in touch with your sponsor, the person who will show up as your sponsor in your back office. Let them know you want access to the team Facebook group very soon so that they can get you access to that. And we'll get you inside there and get you rolling. So that's what I got. And I just wanted, for those of you who are new today, that's your actual chance. That's the real opportunity. And for those of you who've been here tonight, I just wanted to give you some training on how you can promote this stuff. And we'll actually put those slides in the back of the team site for you so that you have a good resource guide in order to be able to work from if ever you want to use any of that messaging for your blog posts or for any of the stuff that you do, because that's what we're here to do, is help you grow. So there you go. On that note, back on over to you, Amy.
Yep, and don't forget you can use this video as well. This video will be right here on this live stream page until we go live next week, and we'll put it up as a blog post as well. But you guys can take the video, embed code right off of the video anytime and put it on your own blog as well if you prefer to do it that way. We like to provide it here on our blog as well, just so that if we're not blogging every day, we just want to make it as easy as possible. I think one thing, Chris, I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but this whole site that you're on right now that he was showing you around is coded. So as long as your affiliate ID is at the end of the link when you send somebody to the site, to any part of the site, you can send them to the FAQ page, you can send them to the live stream page. For the next week, you can send them to this video right here on the live stream page. They can see all the comments, everything. You can send them to any of the blog posts. As long as your affiliate ID is at the end of the link, then anywhere they click on the blog is going to stay coded to you, which means if they click somewhere to opt in, and leave their email address, it's going to go to you. And because all of our capture forms go to company capture pages that are already coded to you. So they're going to go to you. If anyone joins, they're going to go to you. So use this blog, use this video, send people to the live stream page. You can start sending them here the minute we get off here. You can send out an email and send people to this live stream page. If our live stream ends up as a blog post, you can use the blog post, and you can also create your own blog post. So I just wanted to mention that as well, because Chris said he's going to put the slides on the team site, which is awesome, but you can also use any of our replay videos each week for your marketing as well. So that was awesome, Chris. That was a great presentation. I hope everybody does use it, because I think it's a really simplified way to just really give people the big picture about what we have going on here. And again, I really do believe that the Next Level Mastermind is something that needs to be promoted up front. Not a, hey, by the way, you joined my team and now you get access to all this stuff, but like, it's an incentive for people to join our team. Our team is awesome. You guys need to get out there and let people know about what you have here. It's a huge benefit. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys to do that.
Yeah, and just know that, guys, what are you really creating here? This is your life, and you have a chance, and you're aligned with the right people to do this. And it just may require a little bit of getting a little uncomfortable and actually expressing yourself. I've got 3 letters that I now live by that have continued to evolve as I've needed to grow and change, and 3 letters that I remind of myself every single day, and they've continued to change. But it helps me keep in line about how to be, how to show up in the world, and how to stay reminded of my purpose, which is what gives me my charge and gives me my sense of purpose and direction, which, I'm passionate about. And right now, their 3 words are, the first one hasn't changed, which is bold. Be bold. And when you're bold, you stand out. And I had to get over being bold and standing out and worrying about what people thought. If that serves you some way, maybe you need to be bold too. The second one is expressive. And it means that I can't hold back anymore. And I have to speak my message. I'm not going to hold back for anybody. And I thought I was even speaking my message, and even had to catch myself recently going, you know what? Yeah, you kind of been holding back a little bit. And I had to remind myself. When I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, never again. So I remembered, okay, one of my words now is expressive. I'm going to continue to express myself because my message is important, and I know it is. And so is yours. People need to hear your message. And the last one, I'm actually more inspired by Amy than anyone with this last one, which is consistent. And I have seen Amy be the most consistent marketer I've ever watched online. And I fully believe that that is the reason for her leveraged success, because it snowballs. And consistency is something that is not glamorous. It's not what people will talk about in sales pages. It's not what people will talk about when they're selling you something. But consistency is where the magic sauce is. That which is done daily. And for me, it's being consistent in what I'm doing every day. And so what is it for you? And I'd ask you to think of 3 words as to how you're going to operate and how you're going to be, the change you're going to be in the world. And think about those. And then once you have them, remind yourself every single day, every day, and live by them and make that your code. So I live by that code. So find out what it is. And if you don't have it all figured out yet or know exactly what to blog about, start telling your story. We teach you that stuff too. So with that, any last words, Amy?
Just remember, staying small does not honor the gifts that God gave you. So, I hope that with what we showed you tonight, that you get that regardless of what your passion is or what your gifts are, it doesn't have, it can be anything. It can be CrossFit. It doesn't matter. But you're not honoring the gifts that God gave you if you're playing small. So think about that when you go to bed tonight.
He goes into mother mode. That was fun. So, all right. And with that, Next Level Mastermind family, co-creators, we'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. And another message, more training. And from now until then, find a way to do something every single day that moves you closer to your dreams. Love you all. Have a good
Love
night.
you.
We'll see you soon. Good night.